Hello everyone, konnichiwa minasan, and welcome to another video of Teaching in Japan. So in today's video, I'm actually not going to give you tips or, my opinions on teaching in Japan. I actually want to do a self-reflection because today was the end of the academic school year for one of my elementary schools. Today was the graduation ceremony for the 6th grade students, which is why I'm wearing, I guess, nicer clothes than normal. So, black suit, white shirt, white tie. This is a standard men's attire for these kinds of things. So yeah, graduation ceremony. It got me thinking about, how I was when I first started teaching these kids. Because I see these kids going up to the stage and I'm thinking about how they are now compared to how they were when I first met them. And obviously I'm not going to see that big of a change because I didn't see them every single day. But for some of them, I definitely felt there was a change because maybe I got to know them a little bit better. Like some kids, just say hi and whatever, but other kids actually stopped and tried to talk to me and, all that other stuff. So I'm like, man, that's pretty cool. Like, I'm gonna miss this kid. Or I'm gonna see this kid next school year at the junior high school because I'm gonna be teaching there, whatever, something like that. So it really got me thinking about, the kids, and it got me thinking about myself. Because, this was my first year of being an ALT. So I definitely thought, it's good to think back to how I was when I first started compared to now. So when I first started, I definitely thought that, in my mind, I'm like, I'm good with kids. I'll be okay. I'm good with kids. Kids like me. I can play yo-yo and entertain them that way and whatever. Which is sort of right, but at the same time, not. Because I guess if you take away the yo-yo, my personality back then, at least for work, for work I was very, I guess, stiff and adult-like and maybe professional. And I didn't really connect with the kids in the way that, I guess was comfortable for them. Like, if you know me personally outside of, work related stuff or, anytime you're supposed to be well behaved, then, I'm pretty much like a child and, I'm very, I don't know, immature. So yeah, I'm talking about my personality while at work. And maybe this is why at my old job at the Akiba, maybe I wasn't very great with kids lessons because I couldn't connect with them in that way. But anyway, yeah, so my personality back then was very stiff and I didn't know how to really communicate with the children besides the yo-yo. So I think that's why for me the first 2 or 3 weeks or maybe even the first month it was difficult for me to really get into a groove of things because I didn't know how to approach these things. So after I guess some serious thought and just observation, I realized that as people grow up in general, not just me, not just you, but people in general, as they grow up they lose that childhood attitude, which I guess it's important that you grow up, of course. But what I mean by that is I remember myself back in elementary school days, recess and whatnot, just having fun with my friends, not caring about getting my clothes dirty, just running as fast as I could. If I fall on the grass or in the mud, it doesn't matter, it doesn't bother me. I stand back up and start playing tag again, But somewhere in my lifetime, that kind of mentality just stopped. I never wanted to run and play tag anymore. I always worried about getting myself dirty. I don't know what happened. So after like seeing these kids play during their recess time, like I'm like, I miss that part of my childhood. So like I started to try and remember and to think back as if I were a child also. And so I brought that mentality into the classroom, where I started just, you know, messing around with kids and, you know, playing jokes on them, like tap, you know, like the old thing where you tap them on the shoulder, and like if you're here and you tap them on the shoulder, they're like, what, you know, that kind of thing, just silly stuff like that. So I started doing that, messing with them, and like before I knew it, like the kids started, you know, trying to communicate with me more, you know, other than just asking yo, you know, stuff like that. So I'm like, man, I feel like I've become a better teacher, sort of, in that regards, because I definitely think communication with the children, especially if like I can't really speak the language, like that kind of communication is very important. Otherwise, they're just gonna think that, oh, it's the foreigner. Oh, he plays yo-yo. He doesn't have a yo-yo today? Oh, let's not talk to him. So yeah, another thing that I noticed about myself is that I learned how to adapt to, I guess, the system. Whether that is me planning and leading the class, or you know, if the Japanese teacher and I go through the material too quickly and there's an extra 15 minutes left of class, like I learned how to adapt to that situation. And I mean, sometimes I still have some kind of like extra time where I don't know what to do, but usually it's not 10 or 15 minutes anymore, it's like 2 or 3 minutes. So at that point I just review one more time and then call it a day. But yeah, like I remember when I first started, sometimes we would go through the material too fast, and I'm like, what do we do now, sensei? And yeah, I mean, I feel bad for kind of just putting it on them, all that pressure, but I mean, it should be on the both of us, really. But that's besides the point. Like now, pretty much all of my lessons that I've done either finishes the full time, or like plus or minus 3 minutes of the, you know, specific time frame that we have. So I've gotten much better at communicating with the teacher and planning and getting the activities like just the right time. So like, yeah, I felt like learning how to do that made me become, I guess, more efficient at doing my job, as well as helping the Japanese teacher, you know, do the English lessons more effectively. Maybe, I don't know if what I'm saying is actually true. That's just what I think. I don't know if I'm really helping them, but yeah, so that's just what I think that I've definitely improved on within this past year, well, 9 months. So I think that's about it in terms of, I guess, growth of, you know, what at least I've noticed of myself within the past 9 months. Maybe there have been other things, maybe there haven't. Maybe the things I said aren't actually true. I don't know. That's just what I think. So yeah, like I definitely feel like this past year has been very, very good. I'm very excited to continue being an ALT, especially because next year I'll only be at 2 schools instead of 4, which is much better because I think I'll be able to really talk to the students more and get to actually know them. Because actually, like, even now, it's been a year since I've started, well, 9 months since I've started, and I only know maybe at each school 10 students, if that, by name. Otherwise I have to read their name tag if it's in English, you know? So I don't really know them. So like I feel like being at so many schools, there's so many kids, and it's just difficult to remember names. And I'm bad at names anyway. So like it's gonna be impossible if I continue at 4 schools trying to remember all those names. So next school year, me being at 2 schools a week, I think would be much better trying to remember the students as well as the teachers. I actually don't know some of the teachers' names yet, which is kind of sad, you know, like I feel bad about that, but oh well, like that's just how it is. Maybe sometimes they don't know my name, I don't know, but yeah. So anyway, that's all for today. I want to change out of this outfit into something more comfortable and take some medicine because I'm still a little sick from the weekend. But anyway, maybe there will be a new video next week. I don't know. Sorry I didn't release the video last week. The video that I filmed last week wasn't like as good as I thought it was. At least the topic was, so I just scrapped it. But yeah. Anyway, see you.